Hey, how's it going, everybody? Thanks again for stopping by the channel, giving us a watch. Hey, if you're new here, please subscribe. We got a lot of cool stuff coming up, and you'll definitely like this video, so if you do end up liking it, give it a like. So today, we're going to show off a couple of our cool Marlin lever action rifles. The reason we're doing this is because we just got a brand new one over here. This is our 35 Remington Marlin model 336 CS, which stands for Country Sport. So this is the new one to our collection. Of course, we have our 3030 Marlin and our 4570. This is a model 1895 SS, which the SS I believe stands for Super Sport. And then this is a model 36 ADL. That's what it says. These are all Marlin rifles. They're all really sweet rifles. We shot these before in a previous video, I believe, or at least this one, the 4570. This 35 Remington Marlin rifle we just got and picked up some ammo for it, so we're going to go through the differences in the calibers. Obviously there's a huge difference between these calibers, but we're going to go over just a little bit of a brief history on all three of them as far as the round and to some extent the rifles. We know Marlin is somewhat known for their good lever actions. Unfortunately, we don't have a lever action 410 out here because all we find is Henrys, and we don't want Henrys, we want Marlins. So I guess without further ado, we will start with this beautiful 35 Remington. All right, so first we're gonna look at the one we have here in 35 Remington, the model 336 CS Country Sport. This did come with this scope, however, we're gonna be shooting at close range, so opted to take it off. It does have these cool little this flip up sight here. It's really nice, and then you could see it obviously through the scope mounts or the scope mount. So that's pretty cool. We already have these loaded, however they are unsafe just for brevity's sake. So anyway, the 35 Remington has been around for quite a long time. I believe circa like 1906. Remington came out with it to compete actually with the 3030, which we have here, for I guess like medium game. And what they found was, I know that apparently there's an advertising campaign that this had some more penetration power over the 3030. It had about 5% more power, I think, in general. It came out as a round, like, you know, a round nose bullet, which you have to shoot in a lever action that's has a tube, because you don't want like pointed tip bullets sitting in line just in case something happened and it struck the primer. And interestingly enough, I'll show you this ammo we have here. This is made by Hornady. It is the Lever Revolution style. We got this 35 Remington, and what you'll notice right away is, yeah, that's not a round nose bullet. This actually has a flex tip, is what they call it. This is rubber, so there's no way that if something did jam, you know, when they're in line in the tube, that they would go off. Another interesting thing about it is that these two, the 4570 and the 3030, are actually rimmed cartridges. This, as you can see, is rimless. Well, technically it does have a rim, but that's what that style is called, rimless. This is for, you know, your general like medium game hunting and stuff like that, small bears, deer, elk, stuff like that, you know, shouldn't be allowed to live. But I'm just kidding. Yeah, that's pretty much what it was for, because I mean that's what people were using the 3030 for. And and anyway, they you know, Remington apparently didn't like that Winchester had success. Sorry about that, battery ran out. Apparently this camera doesn't have the energy that I do. But anyway, let's get back to this rifle I was talking about. Actually, it's been 2 days since the battery ran out and we're back here. No, I'm just kidding, it's only been about 5 minutes. Essentially what this has been around for well over 100 years. It's still going strong, mainly because of this rifle, the 336 Marlin in general, kind of keeping this round alive, and which has obviously inspired companies to make ammo like this to better suit its purposes, which is hunting. Although we're not going to do that today. We'll be hunting some jugs and stuff downrange, but that's about, I mean, who knows, maybe this will see a kill someday, highly doubtful. But we're gonna send some of these flex tip bullets down the range. in a few minutes, so just give me a second and get this ready. Have I ever mentioned how much I hate loading lever actions? Well, good, now I mentioned it. All right. Okay. I don't think there's one in. I hit it. Oh my God. Missed that one. Oh, one more. I'm gonna try that little bottle. Wow. That's really smooth. I mean, it definitely has some punch, like a decent amount, but actually the recoil kind of just, it didn't really slam, it kind of just pushes. I know it probably looked more aggressive on camera, I think, but other than one where I kind of just screwed up, hit everything I was aiming at, which is good, which you should right here. I mean, there's no excuse not to hit that stuff, but don't put anything beyond me to try and do that. Lever was working smoothly, no hang-ups with that. Yeah, I just really hate I hate these loading ports, really. It's just annoying, and I always get my fingers caught in there, but you know, what can you say? It's just how they work. So I think we'll load up a couple more, take some more shots with this, and we'll move on to some of these other rifles.
All right, this lever action, we already have one in the chamber, so I'm just going to pop off the safety, and here we go. Wow.
Aim like a foot lower. Whoa. Oh, there's stuff flying around again.
There you go.
Okay, so now we're going to move on to the 30-30, which is our Model 36, as I mentioned earlier. So, we already talked about the 30-30 a little bit. It's how the 35 Remington came about to kind of compete with this, to be better than it. Well, it probably was a little better when it came out, because it was later. But as far as like the test of time, this is probably what came out the winner, because this is apparently one of the most popular hunting rifle cartridges in existence. Probably has taken down more deer in North America than almost anything else. The 30-30 Winchester is a rimmed cartridge. They never had pointed tip bullets. They were always round tip because they're in the tube. However, you can hit up Hornady for their Lever Revolution series, and I believe you can get some of the flex tip pointed bullets for 30-30 if you want. But yeah, the rim cartridge is indicative of when it came out, 1894-ish, somewhere in there. That's just kind of how bullets in case cartridges were around that time. I mean, rimless cartridges were just starting to come out. Obviously, like this is rimless. So there's some advantages to that, but that's just kind of how they did it back then. So I mean, you could take down stuff like, again, medium game to like small black bears with this, but yeah, primarily deer. We do have a scope on it. I didn't take it off because this has like Canon scope mounts, so I can use my iron sight there. So I will do that because we're at really close range. I'm actually going to adjust this really quick just because I'm not sure. Alright, so let me get my... It's hard to wear the hat and these at the same time. I'm a little afraid of hitting my forehead on this scope, but I don't think I will. Alright. I hope my sight adjustment was good. I'm going for that Tide bottle. Hell yeah. Now, with this one, considerably less recoil, or at least considerably less felt recoil, in my opinion, than the 35 Remington. Put my hat back on. This does have a better buttstock. I mean, that obviously comes into play. This particular rifle has much more give than this. This is just like hard rubber. This is much softer. And this has a little bit longer barrel, so much more recoil being soaked up. Just this is a heavier gun. But yeah, I mean, obviously sight was pretty dead on. I mean, I have it basically at the closest setting here, so guess we'll load it back up and take some more shots. Alright, so now we're going to head on over to the big boy, 4570. 4570, one of the first centerfire rifle cartridges ever made. In 1887, I believe this came out. And it was predominantly used by the U.S. military for 20-something years, a couple of decades. That was where it saw its service until it became phased out, but at the same time was becoming more popular for hunting. According to Henry Repeating Rifles, it hits like a freight train. That's what they said back in the day. And it still does. It's still widely used and a popular bigger game hunting cartridge. Like medium to large game, you would still use this for. This is a pretty sweet rifle. We've shot this before, so we already kind of know what to expect, but it's been a while since we did this, so I'm a little nervous for my shoulder, but it's not got much back there. So anyway, we've already got this loaded up. I'm going to put my ear protection on, and we'll give this a couple shots. So here we go. Oh yeah. Big water jug right there. All right. That's big, but doesn't hurt like I remember. All right, let's go for a little one. I missed it. I just knocked it over. That one was small. Oh, that's all we had in there.
That's right. Never not disappointing when you are ready for that last hurrah, and then you open it and it's as empty as my soul. Dang. Okay.
All right, so we shot everything. We gave you a little background information. Hopefully you learned something, and maybe if you're in the market for one of these, you might know now kind of what you need. What are our thoughts? Not that anyone asked or cares, but we're going to go over it anyway. So if I had owned just one out of all three, I would honestly probably go with the 35 Remington caliber in a lever action rifle. I just like the way that thing shoots. To me, the recoil was pretty stout, but it wasn't horrible. I think I could the trigger was pretty good. I could probably do long range on that with a scope if I needed to. Now the big draw to the 30-30, of course, is that they're one of the more popular lever cartridges that you're going to find. So you're going to find more guns that are chambered in this. Probably less expensive. Obviously the 30-30 caliber is less expensive to buy and reload if you're going to do that. And it's still pretty stout. I mean, it can take down, like I said, a lot of medium games. Most people use it for deer. So if you wanted to own a lever action rifle because you just like lever actions, you want to add one to your collection, but you also think it'd be cool to hunt with it, 30-30 is probably what you're going to want to go for. If you don't mind spending a lot more on ammo, then you could go for the 35 Remington because it does pack that additional power, and it doesn't really bang you up too bad. The rifle's probably going to be more expensive, but it's definitely a reliable rifle. They've been around for a long time. So, I mean, again, my personal choice would probably be the 35 Remington. I just liked it the best, and I think I could stomach spending the extra money on the ammo. Then, of course, the 45-70, really, unless you're actually doing somewhat big game hunting, or you want to have it as like an exhibition rifle because you want a lever action, but you want something big and something impressive, these are not cheap. The rounds are not cheap, but man, it's fun. Definitely most fun out of the three to shoot, just once in a while for something like that. Now, of course, if you're actually gonna do any type of real hunting with it, you know what you're going for there. So, I guess that kind of wraps it up. I mean, all three are great cartridges that have been around for a long time. They've all stood the test of time, as we could see, or else they wouldn't still be making the 35 Remington and 30-30 today. But they've definitely stood the test of time. They're all really reliable guns. They're fun to shoot. So it's pretty much up to you what you need one for. But yeah, I mean, my personal choice, the smaller caliber would probably work out better. Just don't need something this big, but hey, it's really cool. We're glad to have them. We're glad to show them to you. So if you have any questions on any of these things, feel free to comment below. And once again, thanks for stopping by. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and have a good one. Unfortunately, the ammo is a little pricey, but hey, what are you doing?
Didn't look good. Now it looks better.
Okay.
Start over.
All right.